Good morning. This is the first episode of Earthwarrior7. I decided to do this at the start of 2026 because I think the most important thing for me to work on is an important system of oppression for the American people, and that's our nuclear weapons. As of the end of the year, it's pretty obvious that we're going to be engaged in another very substantial arms race. Probably could take up to 20% of our gross national product to do the Golden Dome system. I'm not a Trump supporter. In fact, I'm the exact opposite. However, Trump is a president that has decided to put the Golden Dome concept into play. And I think he's demonstrated the capability of forcing almost every kind of institution off the rails, including our constitutional government. I hope he is not successful with that, but who knows? The midterms are still a year away. So that's the world I'm spending these years of my life in, and I think that there's some things to work with, and one of them is a president that we have that seems to have a cozy relationship with a lot of the people that are involved in the military-industrial complex, which has really been pressing the American people's head to the ground. And I want to stop it. I want to help stop it. But I think realistically the only way to do that is to get a nuclear arms treaty that's universal and international. The only way to do that is to get this Golden Dome off the ground for our country, and then just scare the hell out of the other people that have nuclear weapons, including China, Russia, Israel, Pakistan, India, France, Great Britain. And I guess we should probably include Iran. They say that their religious feelings keep them from having a nuclear weapon, but clearly they're set up to get one quick time if they see a need for it. So we're going to try to get those people signed on to some kind of a universal nuclear arms control treaty. What I would like to see is us continue with what the U.S. Catholic Bishops' Conference was able to accomplish back in the mid-'80s when they had their pastoral letter on war and peace, and they were going to say that deterrence is not a good enough reason for nuclear weapons. It's not an ethical reason. But with a lot of lobbying from the Catholics that were in the Reagan administration, that got changed to it's okay to use deterrence as a reason for having nuclear weapons as long as the number of warheads is being reduced. And I'd like to stay on that course of action. I'd like us to try to keep reducing the total number of nuclear warheads that we have internationally. So now that China's moving toward 1,000, we probably have to give up some here in this country. And I think the Golden Dome provides an opportunity to get rid of, say, the 150 that are in Montana by launching space-based interceptors using the Minuteman missiles here in Montana. I'll get rid of 150, but we still got to make up what the other countries have built. And that's going to be quite a challenge. But we have 3,000 or 4,000 to mess around with. So that's what Earthwarrior7 is setting out to do, to try to save the Earth, really. But more importantly is to liberate the American people from this huge burden we've been carrying of nuclear weapons. I guess I'm driven by an American version of liberation theology. You know, finding out what it is down the road that's keeping your kids not fed or your family not housed. Well, just look at the defense budget. It just came out. It's $901 billion and growing, at a time when Medicaid's been cut back, where our food program's been cut back, where housing is not available to most working people. And when you start doing the math, you know, the people that are worried about the budget being way out of balance, you know, they have a good reason to be worried. So I think that, Thomas Jefferson, when he was president, and he had Albert Gallatin as his Secretary of Treasury, what they did to balance their budget, and they were interested in balancing the budget because they were concerned that it was going to be a threat to democracy. Well, if we can get through this hard patch with Trump, I think that we need to be concerned about our not balance in the budget, but getting it more in balance than it has been. And so what they did back in Jefferson's time is they started selling off military assets. We've got a lot of military assets we don't need. In fact, some of it could be used for housing, some of the land. And I think we should start doing that. But as we back out of our military assets, reducing our budget for what we've been doing more recently, pulling back, we need to get the Golden Dome going so we can get control of these nuclear weapons. So it's going to be a different kind of expenditure for different kinds of weapons, space-based weapons. And we got to do that as we're demilitarizing, really. It's a big order, but what the heck? Guy's got to do something with his time, and I think it's a good use of my time. So I welcome you to Earthwarrior7, and let's see what we can come up with here in the next weekly episode. Thanks.